Hi everybody, I'm Mike, this is Budget Guns and Gear Reviews, and this is my look at the Extar EP9. Stick around, maybe we'll learn something together. The Extar EP9 is a blowback operated 9mm pistol that uses Glock mags. It also comes in a 45 and 10mm. I gotta tell you, so far I think it's a lot of fun to shoot. It comes from the factory without any sights on it and without any foregrips. I added these cheap sights from backup sights from Amazon, and this is a Field Sport red dot. I will provide links to these on my webpage, so if you want to go to www.budgetgunsandgear.com, I'll provide links to these since YouTube doesn't want us linking to it directly from our video. I also added this inexpensive angled foregrip and hand stop on it. So I particularly wanted the hand stop to keep my hand from coming in front of the muzzle when I shoot. The controls on this thing are pretty much AR-15. It has a last round bolt hold open. As you can see, it's an empty weapon. Nothing in it. Anyway, has a last round bolt hold open. The bolt close is just the same as it is on an AR. Safety, pure AR-15. The charging handle is on the side, not on the rear like it is on an AR. It is a non-reciprocating charging handle as well, so you don't have to worry about your thumb getting smacked. Magazine release is in the same place it is with an AR, although it doesn't release from the back side, it releases from the front since it uses Glock magazines. It comes apart almost like an AR. Let me show you how that works. You have to use a tool of some kind to push in this rear takedown pin. This one isn't broken in quite enough to just push in, so I'm going to use the head of my pliers to push that rear takedown pin in. Pull that out. It's captive just like on an AR. Then instead of pushing out a front takedown pin, because as you see there isn't one there, instead you place your hand in the firing grip just about. If you don't have the angled foregrip there, you'd place it in front of the mag well, and you push forward with your thumb, and that brings the entire upper off. If you look, it has the captive pin there that doesn't move, and it goes in this hook right here on the front of the receiver. To take the bolt out and carrier, just draw back on the charging handle till the piece of the bolt comes out, then bring it all the way out. It is not, again, there's no gas key because it is not a gas impingement, it's a straight blowback. It is hammer fired, so there's the slot in the bolt carrier for the hammer to come up through. If you want to take the charging handle off, it just comes all the way to the rear and then pops out. If you notice, the slot is just a little bit wider there. That's where it comes in. Reassembly, well, put the charging handle back in, push it forward out of the way, put the bolt and bolt carrier back in, and you're ready to go. If you take a look before we put it back together at the firing control group, that's all AR. Any standard AR fire control group will go in here. The one that's in here is polymer, and the trigger doesn't feel bad at all. It does have a steel insert on the hammer where it contacts the firing pin though. To put it back together, you put your hook in the front there and just kind of press down and in. Takes a little bit of finagling, so you have to overcome the buffer and whatnot. But once you get it in, push your pin back in, function check, good to go. Let's do some shooting. As I said before, it uses any standard Glock magazine from the 15 rounders up. It will not fit the 10 round mags from the Glock 26, but from a Glock 19 or 17 up to the 33 round fun stick, it'll work. Let's shoot some 115 grain Winchester white box. This is the Magpul Glock magazine that came with it. Sometimes it doesn't want to stick if you have the bolt forward. So you got to ram it in with some force and make sure it's seated properly. Let's go ahead and shoot this thing. I like you. And yes, I hit those 2 targets over there. I just don't have them set to where they'll fall. Let's dump the rest of the mag, see if it will cause any failures with this Winchester white box. I'm sure there's not a lot left in it though. Not one failure, seemed to handle that well. One thing I should mention about those 33 round extended magazines is that both of those are from KCI, and this weapon does not like the KCI magazines at first. You have to sand off the sides of them to get them to fit into and pull out of the magazine well smoothly. Before you sand them, you have to really force them in, and then you have to really tug on them to get them out. But once you sand it down, they drop free fine. Same with this 15 round KCI mag. This one has 15 rounds of CCI aluminum cased ammo. Let's see how it likes that. It did not hold open on the last round with this KCI mag. This is a 15 round Glock mag with some defensive ammunition and some hollow point. I want to see if it's going to feed that well. Just like the KCI mags, it doesn't really like the Glock mags too much. You kind of got to put it in there, and I know it's not going to drop free. Yeah, I had the mag release depressed and it doesn't drop free, but you can rip it out. Let's see how it likes this hollow point stuff. It does lock open on the last round with the Glock mag. Now we're going to try it at 25 yards with some Winchester 9mm NATO spec ammo. Seems to be accurate enough at 25 yards. Let's go ahead and dump the mag, see if it feeds all of this. Seriously, really? Locked open. One thing I can tell you is with prolonged shooting, this plastic handguard starts to get a little bit hot. So if you do get this, you probably do want to put an angled foregrip on it. I'm Mike, this is Budget Guns and Gear Reviews. That was my look at the Extar EP9. If you want to know where to get any of the stuff that you see here in the video today, go check out my website at www.budgetgunsandgear.com, and I'll provide links in the blog post about this video to everything that I have here. If you like what you saw, please like, share, subscribe. If you really like what you saw, please consider becoming a patron on my Patreon account. You know, while I'm never going to go pay to play, you know, I will always put my content out for free. I do appreciate any support that you can give me because, well, bringing stuff like this to you to review is getting kind of expensive. But anyway, regardless of whether or not you choose to support me on Patreon, come on back. Maybe we'll learn something together.
What you want?